I look at him and I said, the dude's going to come through. 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 And then when you hear this, type of stuff, makes you feel even better. You're like, hey, you know what? Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right.
Too hard, maybe.
Listen. Everything's going to be all right, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, here he comes. We got bases loaded, nobody out. He's going to come through, bases loaded, one out.
Bases loaded?
Yeah, bases loaded, one out. I'm like, dude, at the worst, he's going to have to sack fly someone. What does he do? Grounds into a 6-4-3 double play, strikes out with no count.
Come on.
Okay, now listen. Now, you guys want me to tell you how to get rid of this slump that Fat Boy is in?
Talk to me.
It's very simple.
Krispy Kreme?
And it's not me being funny. It's not. It's pure logic. Okay, listen. Every pitcher in the major leagues, when they face Andrew Jones, they want to make sure that they get him right away and very quick. So they want to throw strike one and throw strike two at you because you're struggling like crazy.
Okay.
And they want to make sure that we're going to go after this cat because he's batting 170. He's not Andrew Jones. He's somebody else. So what do? You swing early. You swing at that first strike. You swing at that second strike.
Sure.
You don't look at the first two strikes and be passive at the plate when you're struggling.
So has that been consistent?
It's been the entire season. I've never seen him swing at the first pitch or the second pitch. Usually, first off in baseball, situations come every time you come at the plate.
Right.
There's a different situation every time you come into the box. Andrew Jones comes up in situations where he should swing at a first pitch, especially when you're struggling like he is, and he strikes out with 0-2 counts every game. I mean, one or two times a game, this dude has two strikes on him right away, and he strikes out of the ball, a sinker slider in the dirt somewhere.
Wow.
That is thrown 58 feet. So what do? And Don Mattingly is going to join the Dodgers for the rest of the season now. He's going to start in Arizona this coming Friday.
Okay.
So hopefully they don't look at game tape. The tape and the surgery might help, but the whole looking at tape and the past games, it ain't going to do crap. It's not going to do anything anymore.
Well,
I promise you.
They'll be hearing.
You know how many times, Pete, I've heard this guy say, I looked at game tape and it looks good. I know what I'm doing wrong. I got the elbow down. I got my back foot down. It's like, dude, listen. You're the same dude who hit 20 home runs for the last 10 years straight. Okay? You can get back to this thing if you just get some logic into you. And hopefully Mattingly tells him, listen, this is what you're doing wrong. You're looking at strike one and strike two right away. And they're fat. You know, you go to Lowry's and eat a steak, and it's just that filet steak fat. You got your tongue out.
Wow.
That's those type of pitches. Wow. That he's looking at. You can't look at that.
Watching them go by, huh?
You got to swing early. You got to swing early. You got to be aggressive, period.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You think he was on steroids before and he came off of it and he just, like, hit a stump now?
Steroids, Andrew Jones, it's a good point. Everybody looks at that now.
That's why I'm looking at it.
Because they do look at that now. A guy who's struggling now, who hasn't struggled in the past.
Yeah.
He actually got tested.
Oh.
Andrew Jones actually got tested in spring training, actually. Along with Furcal did as well.
And?
Clean as a whistle.
Okay.
And the dude put on 30 pounds.
Yeah.
He's so fat that his eyes close up.
Whoa.
That's how fat he is. I mean, all of a sudden, the guy turned into like an Asian kickboxer, overweight, like purple belt type guy.
So when they took his blood, it was 100% vegetable oil? What's the story, son?
But listen, man, I'm telling you guys right now, call it racist, man.
Why?
Yeah, now I'm fat. Now we're being racist.
I'm fat and proud.
Now we're being called racist.
Okay.
We love all races here. But listen.
We didn't say nothing about races, did we?
Hey, it's the internet radio. It's all good. Listen, Andrew Jones, very simple. Swing at the first two pitches. Swing at the first one if you can. Be aggressive. Yeah. You're going to get a pitch that you can drive. I promise you. And if there's times where the guy ahead of you walked on 4 straight pitches and the bases loaded, work the count. I got no problem with that. Work the count.
Right.
Because you're in a situation, every time is different. You're in a different situation. So just make sure you do that. That's all. That's all I'm trying to get to, my friend.
Okay, well, I hope they're listening tonight. And,
I wish I was a batting coach. If I was a batting coach, and I'm not that type of guy who's like the fantasy baseball owner who throws out all these whack trades and everything else. If I know about something, I'm going to talk about it to some other people. But I'm not that type of guy. I can manage Dodgers and take them to the pennant race. I know how difficult it is. You're dealing with a lot of personalities in that clubhouse. Right. I coached high school basketball as soon as I graduated. My senior year, I got offered the job the next year.
Wow.
So it's like, I know, and that's with 12 kids. That's with 12 guys who were 16 to 18, 15 to 18.
Right.
And they got personalities. They got issues. I mean, they're type of guys who you got to deal with a lot. I can't imagine guys who are getting paid $15 million a year, 25 of them in a clubhouse, who are 20 and over.
Yeah, and
so it's difficult.
Can't see what you see.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah. So Mattingly is a Hall of Famer. He's a legend. I'm not telling you that Mattingly's going to be the savior to the Dodger offense. He might help a little bit, maybe like 5 or 10% of it. And some of it, a lot of it, might be a coincidence. But I know that the players were asking for Mattingly to come over. They missed him. They said that they didn't say anything bad about Easler, but they kind of said that Mattingly, we kind of want him around. We want him here. So, hopefully that'll help out a little bit. And hopefully they don't look at it's back to basics. Right. You get a pitch, you see it, you hit it.
Right.
Period. And hit it hard.
Right.
You hit it hard and you hit it out. That's not your fault.
Incredible, son.
Couple more things. I got some takes on Andy LaRoche and Delwyn Young and Chin Lung, who, listen, these three guys, in my opinion, are all expendable, especially Chin Lung, who, and Andy LaRoche. I'm sorry, guys. I know I got a lot of Dodger fans in here. I don't know how you feel about Andy LaRoche. Not a big fan of him. I realize that the dude hasn't got a lot of playing time with Blake DeWitt kind of, taking him above in the depth chart. He's kind of above Andy LaRoche now. But I'm not down with Andy LaRoche anymore. I think if there's a deal to be made for Andy LaRoche, a Delwyn Young, a Chin Lung, who you make it yesterday. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that you got to make a deal if one of those three guys are involved for anything. I mean, Andy LaRoche. I can say this because I'm on internet radio. He's dog shit. I'm sorry. The guy's dog shit, and he's not one of my favorite players. And I see him go. Send him to Pittsburgh. Let him play with his brother. They can play the corners. Him, Andy, and Adam. They can play the corners of the infield there. So, I'm telling you right now that those three guys are expendable, and I'd send him out for pretty much anything. To be honest with you, Takashi Saito out 6 weeks, sprained left ligament, sprained right ligament in his elbow. Excuse me. Big blow to the Dodgers. As your elbows kind of hurt you now.
Yeah, I was like, let me check mine.
Where's your ligament? Yeah. Bad news. Very, very bad news on the Dodger front there with Takashi. Last year, the guy actually went down with injury in the shoulder, and Broxton came and tried to take the load of being a closer, and he struggled. And I realize that Broxton is young. He's got the capabilities of being a closer in this league, but it's different from setting games up and closing games because it's all on you. You close games out, and the entire thing is on you. I think he's had 15 opportunities to hold games this year, and he's only had 5 holds all year. So, not really sure there about Broxton coming in. Actually, I like one of the posters on ourdodgers.com. They said that actually it was Blue Atlanta who said Hung-Chi Kuo would actually be a very good option for the closer role for the Dodgers. Very good. I like that a lot as well. I think he would be very good closing games out. I was worried about Kuo, about him walking a lot of guys, but Kuo has now found himself. He found himself a groove, especially out of the bullpen now. I think he'd be a great closer, a Billy Wagner type guy, as Broxton will set him up. But I think Broxton needs to become the closer first to make sure that if he's not going to succeed, I think you go to Kuo right away. But I think Broxton takes that role right away, and if he doesn't succeed, then he will send it down to Hung-Chi Kuo. If you guys want to talk some Dodger baseball or anything else, give me a call tonight. I want to talk to you guys. It's 310-984-7600, 310-984-7600, and the show ID is 238-227. So some Dodger front and some Laker news, of course. Luke Walton going down. He's gonna have surgery on his ankle. He's gonna clean out some bone spurs in the ankle. And by the way, some good news here. Laker girl tryout Saturday afternoon, El Segundo.
I'm there.
You want to put on the little bikini? That'd be awesome. That'd be Borat-like.
Jeez.
Maybe browse. This would be a good video for MnM Sports stuff.
Yeah, just to go observe.
But interview. He should go out there. Maybe put a wig on.
Okay.
And try out to be a Laker girl.
Hey.
And then I'll videotape this thing. It'll
sure.
totally be a whole Borat thing there.
So